Boom, we're on. Right, lockdown workshop. We've got a car to do. You want to show what's wrong with it? I've got an assistant today.
The boot don't work.
The boot don't work. What does he actually do? I've not seen it yet.
Bugger all.
How are we going to get it open?
From the back.
How's it got a latch in the back?
You've got to rip the panel off. That's the issue. No. I don't try ripping the panel off.
So boot latch doesn't work. Apparently it's dead. Apparently it's a known fault. And we've got to get to it behind there. So I'm assuming it's behind this white piece then, isn't it? Because that's the wiper motor. That's the wiper motor. We've got to get this off. So that's a set of them, which I suspect are just twist-offs by the looking at them. So they will twist and they will pop out once they're twisted off. And then there's just some pop-out ones. So I shall go and get the correct tools. On the black bit.
I'm on the black bit.
No, on the actual black bit. That bit, yeah.
Right.
So that's got to come out. So you need to wriggle that under there. If that's too big, well, I've got another one. That's it. Wriggle it under, and then you just crank it, but make sure you don't get your bits of your skin in between. That's it. Pop. And then same for this one round here. Swap over. Oh. Oi, this is made for children.
I don't give a shit.
You're not allowed to swear.
I don't give a shit.
You're not allowed to drop the C-bomb either.
Oh, whatever, you stupid cunt.
Oi, your mother will see this.
Oh, no.
That's it. Try not to... Oh, went too soon. Oh, I thought that was going to snap. Right, let's have a look. I think these just a 90-degree twist and they come off. Or they're a screw. That does feel like it's... They do feel like they're latching when you turn them 90 degrees. Right, let's have a look at one now we've popped it off. Yeah, they do look like they're 90 degrees, or perhaps not. Now we're going to need to pop them. Can't get in there with that spade. No, best to do it properly. You don't want to break the plastic trim. It's not Chinesium. It's what came before Chinesium. It's Japanesium. So I'll use the other tool for this one. There we go. Put that in a pot. This should come off now. Stop filming.
This has got to come up because it's wrapped around the back of that anyway. So.
I can feel I need to get in.
I don't know how weight bearing some of these bits are.
So it's behind there. There'll be a trim clip behind there and behind there. Get me a couple of them plastic ones that are like 45 degrees. I'm going to try and pop them off. So I think there's probably a through clip or some. Yeah, one of them, or if there's a thinner one. It might need to be something that's more than 45 degrees. Yeah, try that one. If there's one that's more than 45 degrees as well, that might be helpful. Because the trouble is, I don't think, unless I can... There's definitely something there. Which one? That one?
Yeah, a little thin one.
Yeah. There's definitely something there, emitting something. But it's not popping up. Let's try from this side. There's definitely something there. It'll be a panel stud. Right, let me put the camera down and I'll have a... Right, it's surrendered this bit. It was there's some body tangs on the back of here that go. There's one there. There's one there. That one feels like it might have actually pulled the bodywork stud out with it. There's one there. There's another one there that feels again like it's pulled the bodywork receiver out. There's one there, one there, one there, and one there. So there's 4 altogether. Once I got one to release, the whole lot came out. The problem is now I can't get this over the top of there because the cowl for the motor's in the way. So I did manage to get part of it to shift, but I suspect we're going to be in the same boat. Well, that didn't sound good. That sounded like plastic giving way. Right, let's see if anybody's got any ideas now. If we pull this off, there's probably a way to free them. There is. Do you want to... Are you recording? So, underneath here, is it red light showing?
Yeah.
Right. So if you can't see it, that's the back of the button. What we have to do is try and release it.
See, that's the button that gets pressed.
Right. That's the bit of metal that's got bent out of the way. There we go. Just have a look if there's something hit the garage door.
Go on, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Get that out of the way and then find out what's broken now. So it looks like that piece of plastic there wasn't engaging with the piece of metal it's supposed to push. See, I suspect it's supposed to push that piece of metal and it's not. It's got bent to one side. So let me go fetch me a 10mm, could be an 11, 10mm socket or 11mm socket.
It's a bit small for 10.
I thought it looked a bit big for 10. I'm comfortably saying that's a 10. And we'll take that out, and I suspect what we'll see is that piece of metal is supposed to be behind something, because that's definitely the piece of metal I was. That's definitely. Do you have a boot catch on this?
A what?
A boot catch.
For what?
For internally pressing a button to boot it. Right, so I think if it does it again, yeah, another bit of that. I think if it does it again, if you can get those bottom bits out and pull it out and get your hand up underneath, there's a little bit there. If you just flick that,
it's a manual release.
That's a manual release. So I pulled on that, which all that does is just move that out of the way anyway.
Yeah. Are we taking this off?
Yeah, the whole thing's coming out because I can't see what's going on with it while it's where it is. Hold on a second.
What?
Oh, that must be for central locking. That's what locks it. So that pulls that across, and then that stops that from being pressed because that's supposed to sit behind it.
I think that's part of it. So. think it's all captive.
Yeah, there should be captive nuts. They don't muck about with anything that could fall inside a cavity on a car.
Tinkle, 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 tinkle.
No, they don't. They're all
down the
captive nuts.
motorway.
Right, so let's have a look at that first. And then if it's not on that bit, it'll be on the other bit. Right, so that's that bit. That looks like, God, that's plastic. Right, so that's the actual actuator for it. So whatever it is supposed to move that across. So when you press that in, it's supposed to do something with this, and I suspect that is bent. So there's another one set of things to come out as well. I think that's just bent.
Well, that's what all the forum posters were saying about it.
Because you would normally just push it again. It doesn't make sense, because it would have to be there, and then if you push it, oh right, yeah, it's bent. I see. So if you press it, I don't know how that would actuate.
There is a little bit behind it as well, though.
Yeah, I know, that's the bit I'm looking at.
Come here. You can see it. There's a little white bit behind it that looks like it could sit inside of. That bit there, do you feel it behind?
Yeah, I think that's got bent up. So I think that one's bending down, and that bit wants bending back. So let's. No, we're not doing progressive maintenance. You're as bad as George. Right. Just hold that. God, fucking look at that. What you like?
I grabbed the first thing that was 10mm.
Can you get me an extension? Right, give me the little 10mm. So in the tray on the floor, there's a small 10mm wrench. I need an extension. So I think that goes up to 12, so it'll be the third one down, possibly. Unless it does go to 13. That, yeah, and an extension. There should be an extension in there. It might even be a screwdriver. It'll be in there. It might be under that phone. It'll definitely be in the top. It's definitely in there. Has it got a... I can try it, but some of them have... There is a screwdriver that's actually got a hole in the back of it, and you can put the thing. It should be in there. I don't think I'm going to get enough purchase on that. No, these have been torqued in. It's not very long. It's only about 3 inches long. So that's that big.
I found an extension. That one.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need. So pass me the ratchet. I want the little ratchet, the one you've got in your hand, because that's a 1/4 inch drive. I can't remember. Probably a quarter.
What's your plan?
Take this out. Yeah, they were torqued in because they just popped. I probably can do it with this now. Now I could lose these inside the bodywork. They're the same. Oh, that's helpful. If this was a BMW, I'd have 3 different size bolts already. Oh, come on, don't be awkward. What's holding that in?
Probably this on the outside.
Yeah, I know, but it shouldn't. It should come. That should just come through.
I don't think it is. Shift.
Well, they must have put it in there somehow. can't see it. Hold on.
That
Hold
little
on,
white plastic push.
No, just get me a little screwdriver. Which one? I can see a circlip.
Any flathead?
Yeah, a little flathead will do. Little as possible. I think there's a little blue one in the top. Or that yellow handle. Oh, that'll do. That's spot on. That's exactly.
I don't know what you point that camera at.
Neither do I. Because I'm going to try and get this out now without losing it, because these are notoriously. Yep. Right. So that should come off now, he says.
I hope we all remember how this all goes back together.
Yeah. That doesn't look sprained or damaged, so I think that's good. There should be another circlip now somewhere. No.
Is that all you need to get it out?
Oh, I see what it's doing. Right, so the central lock-in, when it locks, pulls that up, and then that moves that out of the way, so it can't.
So when you push that, it does nothing.
Yeah. Still not got the answer as to why we can't get this out. But can't see anything. A latch in there, and they just press the button on, and it's a complete destruction job to get this out. So you have to drill it or cut the end of that off to get the whole thing out. So that's not going anywhere. So we might as well put that back in, and then we will try and tease that bar back down again.
Oh.
Tuck them back up. Click. Click. There you go. Torqued. Right. Probably have got to be careful with this. If I bend it down, then it goes.
So keep in mind you've got a possibility of bending a little bit that it's mounted on as well.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm a bit.
So it might be worth sticking something underneath that.
Have you got right? Pass me a pair of pliers. I think I've got a pair of pliers in there. Because if I do it with pliers, I can actually.
How thin?
Yeah, they'll do. Yeah, it needs to be fairly chunky. And I'm gonna bend it, but I'm gonna lean back on it at the same time. Would have been nice to get this out of there, but I don't think that's riveted on. Right. Aha.
Keep in mind you haven't got the big plastic push bit in.
Yeah, I know, but that's I don't need that. It's that back bit that does it.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
and then when it's locked, it can't do it. And then when it comes back, it can do it. So how we've got to do now is just see if this is where it should be.
So, it looks like it should just lie flat.
Yeah, when I looked at it, it was cocked over slightly, you could see. So I think just tweaking that a bit as well. That is very soft metal. It randomly picks things up on the voice.
I don't know why you have it turned on.
Because I use it. And I've got my hands covered in grease and I don't want to touch it. Right, if you run down to the shed, workshop, in the big metal cupboard, the nearest one that shouldn't be covered with bikes, on the shelf in the middle is a whole load of cans of grease. You're looking for one that says white grease?
Yeah.
Just fetch that, I'll squirt some white grease in there. Right, cool. And in the meantime I will put the rest of the bits back in. So we'll grab that and move, because it should be back up there because we're open. It's catching still. Yeah, that's not banging now, so that's spot on. Adjustment wise. Stick that back on because we love circlips. They are just lovely. So that fed in from underneath, but I don't like them when they feed in from underneath. Yeah, I had to do a bit more fettling to line it up a bit more, and it's perfect now. It was catching when I put the white collar back on, the outer collar, and it was catching on it. So I've just adjusted it again. Use some white grease. So when you take your car for a service, they just spray this everywhere, and then it makes it look like somebody's done something. It's very similar to bicycle red grease. It's what you pay your money for. Right, that's what you're looking for, Jacob. It's that one. So if you can get that off, feel around for that plate, and it's just a little tang there, and just push it across. It looks like in the past somebody has made one of these with a cable that goes in there, because sometimes they have a hidden release for if it gets stuck, or you've got an electric boot release at the front so you can pop the boot. So this mechanism is probably a standard mechanism for many cars. So don't do that. Don't do that one.
Yeah.
What you're aiming for is, because that'll be there. You want to try and get your fingers up to flick that one across. If not, you're going to have to flick that one across that way. Yeah. With your hand, and that's what opened it. All I did was just push that across. But even that's not. Let's have a look at it. Oops, that's too big. God, aren't they spaddy locks? Right, so that's locked. So all you're doing is looking for, and that's unlocked. Latched. Unlatched. That doesn't feel very smooth either. It's plastic, so I don't want to put any grease on that. Don't grease plastic, because if all this muck and dust gets into the grease on the plastic, it just eats the plastic. So, in theory, if I pop this back in now, there's no adjustment in that, thank God for that. Have you got a YouTube channel, Jacob?
Yeah.
Yes.
2.
Would you like to upload this onto your YouTube channel too? Would you like me to promote? No. What's your YouTube channel called, Jacob?
No.
No. Oh, you're no fun. Right. Oh, that didn't work, did it?
You've not like inserted it at the wrong point, have you? You've put that hot plastic push button.
Yeah, no, that's all in. It's moving that, and it's flicking the arm across.
That's not meant to be in there, in between there, is it?
No, that's.
Are you sure?
Right, that's locked.
Go on.
Right, I'll put that on. Oh, there you go.
Do you want to try and put the boot down?
I think it's that's not going back. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to. Because that doesn't need to self-return, does it? So that only returns when the boot's shut.
I think the boot, the force of the boot popping up pulls it out, or it is just stiff, and that might be what's caused it as well. Oh, nice shut boot. Got a pass on the camera. You can unclip it from there.
No, I've been
Pull that thing out the side. Yeah.
clipping and unclipping it all the time. Are you ready?
Yeah, don't slam it, because slamming is what breaks them. Right, press the button. That's in.
So that still feels a little bit stiff compared to what it was before.
It's flat. Oh, I see what it's doing. That's quite clever. It's actually and that flicks that across. And that catches that, and that flicks that across. Yeah, I can't see that it's moving. It's going to make any difference. Just lock the boot again and let me try it manually. See if there's any resistance at this side of it. Go on, shut it again. No, that feels fine. It's all the resistance is in. Just press that bottom bit again. The button.
That felt quite soft that time.
Yeah, well, there wasn't any resistance that the thing was on. Well, I think it might be the plastic that's binding. That might be why it broke. The problem might be in there. Go on, try it again. It's actuating properly. The metal's in the line where it should be. So I'm wondering whether it's just this plastic bit is wearing out, that bit.
No.
The problem is if we go to replace that piece of metal that's broken in, that's bent in there, we've got to get that off. So
yeah.
we need to find out how to get that off.
Yeah.
There, because there's no obvious way of undoing that I can see.
Well, that probably comes out as part of this bumper here on the back, on the outside.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure as it would, to be honest, but
Make sure you're not wiping grease everywhere, you filthy animal.
go on, I shut it again. Try it again. Go on. It sounds all right. It sounds like it's working okay. Yeah. Just check the lock works before we put all the cover on. So you just want to lock it. Try it now. Yeah, unlock it. Yeah, okay. Let's put it back together. Don't think we're going to get any more out of that, to be honest. I thought you were filming. that's back in now. We're just looking for a missing clip. One job eh? To be in here, I'll have a big oof on it. I don't think it's had a rear shunt this. I can't see any ripples or marks on the there's a bit of one there. That's definitely a ripple. There's one there as well. So I think they just press marks. No, if you put them all in there, you'll have picked them all up. You're not going to notice it's under a carpet, isn't it? I have got another one that's that style. It's just a little bit bigger. There we go. Oh, look at that one. There we go. It actually looks better than the original one. You know, you'll find it as soon as we put the carpet back in. That's the rule for clips with cars. And then it'll forever sit in that thing going, next time we'll put this back in, and you never do. Oh, bird of prey. Right, I think we'll call that fixed then. Lockdown workshop with helper edition. Doing a car for once, not a bike. Oh, just shut the lid back down. I've got to put this cover back on if it stays on. I'm going to have to use some blue tack. It's not my fault, it's made out of Japanesium. Can't remember which way it went there. Yeah, it's a really shit design that. Those tangs there. You're on wide angle, aren't you? You'll have to hold your way. Those tangs there, there's no way to get to them when you're pulling it off to squeeze them in. But that one's sheared off completely at the base. That one's lost its noggin, and that one's lost its noggin. I suspect there might just be enough with that and that to hold it on, but it might be a bit loose and wobbly. But I'll be honest, it was a bit loose and wobbly anyway. So I suspect somebody else has already been here before us looking at all the marks around there. So let's try and get it in. Not very successfully with one hand. Oh dear. Come and hold my camera for me. I'll spread it a bit. I'll do this the right way up. Oh, I see what that has to go under there first. That's it. Oh, it's in. It's just a little bit. That's going to be really annoying when you go down. Come on, then shut it.
It's going to fall off.
It's going to fly off. Don't slide. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we need a new cover. I'm sure there'll be it'll be £25.99 or something like that, and then every time you need to take it off, it'll fall off. So I know when we looked at a few of these, nearly every single one of them had that was broken off, and I suspect we now know why. What we should have done actually was cut that bit of plastic out on the other side of this, so you can take this out without having to take that off. Maybe that's for next time. But you're not going to attack it like a thug now, are you? Or don't let your brother loose. Just when you thought we were done. Feels alright actually, that. Yeah, this bit, it's just hanging by a thread. So I'm going to have a look at it and see if I can do something a bit better. So we've got that one there. I think that's the one to go for, because then it's held there and there, and that's the biggest one that's missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make a fastening for that. Reason why is because second hand on eBay, 66 quid. Dealer hasn't got any. So we're going to mend this one. There we go. Right, let's go and find some bits. See what we've got for doing this. Got some. Oops, that's not the right one. No, that's not the right one. So where's the right one? Is it over here? It's over here. So what I'm looking for is a block piece. Now, what I think I might be able to get away with using is one of these, because I think they will fit inside the square. So there's a square shaft. Hold on a minute, your eyes. I'll smear up. You see that? It's gone all moisture. Right, so inside the piece that these fasten into, there's a square hole, and they drop into the hole, and the sides, the lugs pop out. That's just a blind hole. That one's snapped off. That one's only got one hanging on. That one's only got one hanging on. And the net result is it just does that. When you slam the boot, it just falls off. So my plan is to drill a hole, bang in the centre of that one, put a support piece behind it, because I'm guessing that the metal plate we're fastening into must be similar size to that. So I'll put a support piece behind, and then I'll push one of these into the hole that would have clipped into, because I think that's about the same size, and I can get away with that. Now, you can get these plastic square block things that are designed to sit in car fastenings. They sit in a square block hole, but I'm not sure what big size the square hole is, because this isn't designed for one of those. So I'm not too sure about that, but I'm hoping that they'll fit anyway and do the same thing. So it's just like a plug. These will expand out, so they should stop it from pulling out. I think they are the smallest ones I've got. I don't think I've got anything else that's suitable. One of those might be able to get away with it. That's something similar to. There's one there that's a bit smaller. That might be a bit too small. That's actually a motorbike body panel retaining pin. I think these are definitely the way to go, though. That might be okay, but I think it might be a bit big. So I think these, my original idea with these are BMW. I bought them for the boot liner. The only thing about these is I'm noticing that the hole's quite big. So that's going to be the only downfall to them. They'd probably work, but I'm worried they might stick through too far. But I can always take them up and try. Same with those too. I can always try and shove something else down inside there. I mean, the other alternative is with glue and not behind it, but I don't actually want to do anything to it in case I do find another one of these. But like I said, they were quite expensive. It's a shame we ain't got longer ones of these that you could shove. Well, that's interesting. I could break off one of those in there and glue it in, and use that. I'm not particularly precious about these, because I'm going to have two spare anyway, because I'm going to use them up. So I don't think that's going to hurt. That might not be a bad idea. That one looks okay, and that's got a nice little hole in it as well. Yeah, that might be an option. I've got to get the right size screw as well, so I've got to get something that's long enough to go through. Doesn't look terrible. It's long enough to clear that, but doesn't look bad. But equally, it isn't so tight in there that I can't screw it in. So I think that would work quite nicely, that one. What we'll do as well is that when we push that in, there'll be a piece of little plastic tubing on the back of it that can hold it in place. They're quite long, aren't they? Don't think they're long enough to get a good bite on that, though. Unfortunately, no, that did actually bite quite well. Just a little bit longer would have done. Okay, that's not a bad screw. Another one there. There's two little screws. Just give them a touch of black paint on the end unless I find something better, because they are a little bit rusty then. We'll see. So best thing I can do is we'll trial it with that one first, because there might be enough to hold that, and that pins that in the mechanism at the bottom. That hooks over the bottom of the latch. That one there might be enough. So what we want to be aiming for is something quite small. That's definitely not going to fit in there, but it might fit in there. So what we might do is shove that in, push that in behind it to fasten it in place, and I'll stick a drill bit through there of the right size. Right, alright, it's about 2.5 or a 3, so we'll put it on slow power and on drill, and then we'll just carefully drill through and see. That's a little bit of play in that. I think probably could have got away with a 3, but right, we'll hold on to the side, given my previous experiences of drilling through my hand last year. That's not drilling very fast. Scrap of wood. We thought we'd have had loads of scraps of wood kicking. Oh, there we go. Better than that. If you're going to go with oak. Just a blunt drill. Okay, let's give it the beans. Oops, sorry. Try that. I think that hole might be a little bit too small. With the original plan. So that was a 2.5. With the extra millimetre. That's a bit better. It looks centred as well. Yeah, that drill bit is a bit. See if we've got anything a bit smaller in the parts bin. The parts bin is not looking particularly clever today. Not parts bin, you can do better than this. Maybe on wood screws in a minute. Don't along now. Not in the 4s, it need to be in the 4s. 4 by 3/4, no. 4 by 1. 4 by 1. That's long enough. It might be too short. Yeah, they're going to be too short. Yeah, it's just going to nip in. It's not going to be enough to open it up. I think we might just have to go with these and open that hole up a little bit more. Unless we've got something a bit longer. 5/8. Yeah, I might have to go to a 3.5 or a 4, unless I can run that in. Let's have a look. Trouble is, whatever we do has got to be not so tight that it won't screw in when we're trying to screw the let's go to a 3.5. I think a 3.5 will do it, to be honest. Sorry, reaching in front of you, bit rude. Flipping starving. Do over this time, so we can hit the same hole. That's no good. We're having chicken stress outside. Should cut out then when the battery's getting flat. Right. The thing is, we've got plenty to play with here. Right, let's bring you over here. I don't think I've got any small enough for that. Oh, that might do it. Oh, I might just do it. You say that. So I know about these for a reason. Oh, not quite. Oh, nearly. Okay. A bit naughty. Nearly. Come on, bite, bite, bite. To be fair, it's probably not going to have to go not that much further than that. Right, that's okay. That's bit. I'll just have a look for one. Oops. Let's go and see what we've been up to. Workshop, wifey. The view, the castle. Whee. So this is where we're at. We've dropped that plug in there. That was the bigger one, because what I noticed was that this piece is on the same plane, and that locating dowel there has only got about a quarter of an inch, maybe a bit more, maybe 3/8 or 7 or 8 mil or something like that before it hits the shoulder. So whatever we put in here, and you can see there's a shoulder there, so just the straight plug was longer, so I hadn't had to use the screw at all, and I went to the bigger plug. So that goes over, and push that out, and then wriggle it around a bit so everything goes in its little locating lugs, and then hopefully if I wriggle this about we can get that to go in, he says, because I've got it in before, because I've just taken it out to show you. Let me just push it in. Come on, there we go. And that's it. There's enough friction on that to keep it there when you slam the boot, which we're going to test now. Even a Jacob slam. Has it come off at all? Nope. Perfect. You know what? I am an absolute genius. So Toyota, feel free to use that, because I think that looks have a quick look at it. I think that looks a damn sight better than the screw idea. Okay, it's a little bit big, it sits slightly proud, but saved me 60 odd quid for that. If this is a problem, I can put another one there, because that's about the same distance on that one. And if I have to, put one in the middle, but the clips are half hanging on in the middle, so I'm just going to leave that and see where we go with it. Like I said, I think we're probably going to have to take all this lot out anyway. I think Jacob might have been right, the boot might have to come off to get that bit out. So I suspect he's right actually, and that does sit in the boot, so the boot valance is going to have to come off. So if we have to replace the whole unit in there, because it is knackered, it is sprained, then the boot's going to have to come off. That's going to have to come out. We'll have to replace the locking mechanism, or take it all out and weld it up, but I can't get it out because of that bit there, so I need to see what's holding all that on the other side. But I'll do for the time being. Jobs are good, and lockdown workshops, something different. Son can now disappear off back to university, and I ain't got to worry about that. Has he got a crease in that? I'm going to stop looking at this car, because every time I look at it after he's been riding it, it's got a flipping crease in it, and he claims he hasn't done it, but new van, motorhome. Right, we'll call that a wrap. Lockdown workshop, like it. As far as views go, it doesn't get much better than that. A couple of pigeons. We've had birds of prey flying over all afternoon. Sparrow hawk. I've no idea what's up with this, it just keeps shutting down. I think it's on some funny time. Right, I'll just take you back down into the workshop. Do a quick wrap up down there. I've done wrap up not by the car, but I'm probably have to cut that off because it's probably showing a little bit too much of the location. Not that it would be difficult if you were local to work out where we were. Right. This is why I have lots of spares, so that's what I ended up using. I just had an inkling as I went up that might be long enough, so I just went up with that and chucked it in, and lo and behold, it fit. They belong with them. So the really long one's sitting there in those things. So we've managed to bag a good one there. So we'll call that a win. I don't know what I did with the rest of the bits. I suspect I've chucked them in here. No, I'm quite pleased with that. Like I said, Toyota, feel free to use that, because I think it's a bit better than them stupid tangs, because there's absolutely no way you can get that piece off. And if you're charging 66 quid, that's not disposable. You know, I'll get it with some of these parts. The way they're made is that they have to be held firmly, but that's just taking the mickey. There's a BMW piece of door trim as well. It's exactly the same. It's impossible to get it off without breaking it. Every now and again you come across somebody who claims they can do it, and then when you see the end of the video, you can see it slightly hanging off. So they've broken the little tiny one that always breaks. So I'll call them out on that one, because I thought I'd got mine off. I thought, I got it off. Everybody says it breaks. No. Come to put it back on, and actually there's a tiny little clip that you don't realise you've broken off. Still got them there waiting for collection. Still got them there waiting for a strip down and go. We are going to crack on with some timber tomorrow. if I get back from a bike ride, because I have promised myself a ride tomorrow, and we are going on this baby. She's got her winter tyres on now. Hopefully it's not going to rain tomorrow. I'll have a look. If it's absolutely biblical, I ain't going. I am a bit of a fair weather rider at the moment. Not so bothered about the bike, but I've got lots of other things to do, and given the choice of going out on the bike, okay, it'll be good crack. I'll get absolutely saturated. Then it'll take me ages to warm up, and I won't feel like doing anything when I get back here. I have got to go and see my parents tomorrow as well, so I've got limited time to get this done, and I really need to get this done and cleared off, because then I can start and clear that lot out, and then we can finish this and turn it into what I want to turn it into. I'm going to have a think about the bikes a bit more, though. I'm not going to have room for all them bikes. I found some old plans of the workshop I did a few years ago for how it was going to finish up, with a kind of a half mezzanine up here at about sort of that height, so that you could get into the top area up there, or store stuff up there, or just have like I think the piece at the end came across a little bit further, and these rafters will be up higher as well, so these roof joists will go up higher and go across stretches every other one, rather than just 3 and 3. And then there'll be like a mezzanine area that's just a little bit higher than this, or maybe about the height of that. And then up there, so you can sleep up there, and then this piece will come to about there. TV screen and stuff there, toilet there, kitchen area there, settee kind of area there. And that'd work great, because I can put a desk over there and work over there, or put the desk over here, have a treadmill and bike set up over there, and then everything's sorted. Or I just go with a completely open studio workshop kind of thing, and don't bother with using it for like a studio, you know, where people could sleep. Because the idea was, the bed settee, you could push the bed settee back and then open the bed out, sort of thing. But we'll see how we go. You know, that'll still work. I just don't have to have the mezzanine. Then I can leave this in. We can have the TV, or get rid of it. Take this up to the workshop, the other workshop, the annex, where we've just been working. Garage to most people. And then I've got another unit. I've got a wooden IKEA unit that's similar to this actually, but in wood, with a bigger area there for the TV, and then that can come down, and then that frees up the office I currently sit in. That's a bit tiny, but hey ho. Right, anyway, we're waffling a bit. Like and subscribe. Lockdown Workshop. Hope some of you have found that useful. If you've got a problem with an Aygo and a boot catch that's getting stuck, and you've got a willing and able helper. I've got about another half a dozen bikes, so people are hitting me up to come and get them fixed. So when they can be bothered to bring them, I'll plough my way through them. But that's the priority, to get this stuff out of the way. It's been waiting way too long. It's not the end of the planer yet. I am still waiting for a piece of timber. I keep forgetting to phone my joiner friend, who has got a bigger piece, hopefully. So I will, in fact, I'll do that now. Anyway, right, like and subscribe. Press the button. I think we established it's down there. Write some stuff down there if you want to. And we'll see you again soon. Job's a good one.